Hello. I am so excited to talk to you all today. Have a honest, deep chat about backing your claims, backing your offers, backing what you talk about in your content with stories. I have my coffee. I have my cat May. And I'm really excited to give these live streams an official name, Hang with Hannah, where we're gonna, every single Monday through Friday, every single day at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're gonna have these chats. We're gonna be sitting down together. I encourage you to grab a warm drink. You know I won't be here without one. And we'll just talk about topics that I believe are super necessary, conversations that I'm having with my clients. Wow, the sun goes behind a cloud and I look ghostly. And just things that I think are not being said enough in the online industry. So today's topic is all about backing your claims with real life proof stories. As I'm a storytelling mentor, you know I'm going to be bringing in real client stories, personal stories, and interactions and stuff that you've had with people in your community as proof that you know your stuff. This is inspired because I've been seeing, and I've worked with some coaches as well that have said, you just need to show up confidently. You need to claim that you are the one. You need to say that you're the blank queen, that you're the social media queen, that you're the storytelling queen, that you're the email marketing queen. And while I love confidence, and while I love showing up and pushing yourself to be seen, going past your fears of, trying to appear humble, you've been told to quiet down, you've been told not to brag. And while I agree with everyone saying that you should be bragging more, you should be talking more about the wins that you've had, you should be talking more about what you do, the work that you do, what you're passionate about. Where I draw the line is talking about that stuff without having proof. And even if you have a tiny little morsel of proof, like maybe you've done it yourself, or you've worked with a friend and you helped them get results, that is enough for me. We can work with that. We've got one story to work with, and I have tools in my belt that I help my Force of Nature clients use to get more of these stories, more of these experiences. But if you're going out there and you're claiming you're the email marketing queen and you've never done email marketing, or you're the make money online queen and you've never made money online, hey, welcome, so nice to see you, then you have no business talking about what you talk about. The amount of times I've had people come into my world and they say, I really need help signing clients, or I really need help getting visible on Instagram or wherever. And then I look at their profile and I say, helping entrepreneurs make six figures. And I go and ask them, okay, tell me the story about how you've made six figures. And they are like, oh, well, I haven't. We've got a problem. No wonder why it's so difficult for you to show up, post content, because you feel like a fraud. No wonder why it's so hard for you to sell your offers, because you feel like an imposter. So the way we fix that is by backing everything that you have with stories. And in fact, I'd go a step further and say lead with stories. When you're creating content, you're picking a story from the vault that you have, that we've created together. I teach my Force of Nature clients this. Also, if you book a one-on-one intensive with me, we also create one of these vaults. But you pick a story, one of the three types of stories I like. So it's either your story, your client's story, or you're directly addressing your future client's story, the thing that your dream client is currently experiencing on a daily basis. And we start there. Same with your offers. Do you have, I will bet, because I've been here before, that you have pieces of messaging, even if it's just one sentence, that is not in integrity. Perhaps you are I'll just go back to this. Perhaps you're a social media manager, right? And you, in your messaging on your offer, say, I'll help you get visible so that you can have a six-figure business. Have you created a 6-figure business with social media? Have you helped your clients do that before? Or are we just using the buzzwords that everyone uses in the industry because we think that's what you need to add to sound legit? It's these little things, the buzzwords, find your aligned life, go viral, get lots of views, be the go-to in your industry. I'm trying to think of other ones. If you think of other ones, put them in the comments. But these buzzwords, everyone wants to talk about 10K months, 20K months. Now it feels like it's 100K months. If you haven't done this yourself, or you haven't gotten clients to get this result yet, you have no business talking about that. And this is a very hard lesson, because if you right now are creating content and it looks like you go and you search the For You page for hook ideas, a template, or maybe you're even in a content program and you're just following someone's hooks that they're giving you, or you're studying your competitor and seeing what they're talking about. And then all these things are influencing you and the way that you show up and you talk about your offers, you talk about your content. Every single time you create content or you create your offers in a reaction state to something you've seen, I guarantee there's like little parts of it that you only added in because Sally Sue added it in. And you thought that's what's going to make you successful. So there are ways, like I said, you don't have to have an insane story. In Selwood Story, this little micro mini mind that I was hosting in October, I taught my students in that how to take a story, a screenshot, an experience with a client that they've had that might not have the results that most of their dream clients are looking for, right? Like, so for example, let's say most of my clients are trying to sign more clients through social media. So let's say I work with a client and right now they're showing up every single day. They're posting content. They're posting reels. May's giving herself a bath in the background. They are showing up. They're like doing all the right things, right? Maybe they're even following those viral hooks and are following templates that they believe should be working. But they aren't signing clients. They're getting a lot of comments like, "You're so inspiring," or like, "Love this," and like hearts and stuff. They're getting people in their DMs pitching to them, but no one going into their offers. So let's say I'm working with this client and we're doing a lot of work. We're doing a lot of work of finding stories to back up her content, her offers. We're refining her offers so they're more dialed in and specific. And we're doing all this work. And she maybe like gets rid of some offers. "Brenda, hi. It's so good to see you. I just saw your post about you working on you and how it's not a competition. If it's like me against me." I loved it. It's so inspiring. I was like, "Yes, Brenda, go." So what was I saying? So let's say we're working with a client and we're doing all the deep work, the foundational work for my clients. It's like checking out her offers, making sure they're streamlined, making sure they're specific, making sure they're not leaking any of her energy. We're backing things with story. We're creating stories that she can pull from to create content, right? And we're doing all this work. And let's say she gets a comment saying like, "You are in my mind." I'm going to create a story around this because that is proof that her content is working for her. Now, has she signed a client? No, not yet. But we can still create a story around the things that are not like the top tier results that your clients want and use that in our content. I've worked with a client before. She is a virtual assistant. She's a virtual assistant. She was a college student. And this was a few years ago. We were working on building her confidence, getting her out there. And she was so insecure about the fact that she was in college. She thought people wouldn't hire her because she was still a college student and she was super young. So we did so much inner work. working on the fears, building her confidence, getting herself out there, making her, helping her be more bold and convicted in her posts and in the way that she talked about her offers. And she signed her first client. But the signing her first client didn't come until 3 months into working with me, right? But while I was working with her, I was sharing all the wins about how she's overcoming the fear of being seen, how she's putting herself out there, and she's talking to people even though she was scared that no one would respect her because she's a college student. So if you don't have the story that has like, my client made $100,000 in 5 days, that's okay. We can still pull stories from conversations you have with clients, what you're talking about on your calls with the clients, what you're doing for your clients if you're a done-for-you service provider. We can also pull stories from your own personal experience as well. But the problem comes up when you're making content claiming that you've done things, or having little bits and pieces in your offers saying you've done things that you haven't done. And there are people out there that are like, yeah, just be bold, claim that you're the one, claim that you're the go-to. But I know myself felt really weird about that. It gives you a little like, oh, I don't know feeling. And if you want to show up with integrity and you want to build the biggest, like, best ironclad community that trusts you fully, you need to be leading with stories. You need to be backing your claims with stories. Because, like, I bet you one of your fears is, well, what if someone comes and comments on this and's like, prove it? Or what if someone calls me out and says, like, I worked with her and she didn't do anything? I bet you had those fears. But if you say, well, this post was created based on the interaction that I had with XYZ client, or this post was posted or created as a result of me hitting this milestone, when you can do that, it's like, doesn't matter. Your fears might still come up, but you have that power to be like, no, listen, we've done this before. We know what we're talking about, right? So this I posted yesterday. Wow, it feels like days ago. I posted yesterday saying, I'm the blank queen won't make your community trust you, but what will is backing your offers with stories, having literal proof that you know your stuff. And right now there are so many people making claims that they can do things, and we see all these bridges being burned, all these unhappy investments. And the way that you can build that trust with your community, say, hey, I'm legit, is by giving them proof. There are so many people out there that are making decisions right now, making decisions to invest in a new service provider, making decisions to invest in masterminds or group programs or a new coach. And the best way you can stand out is by having results and showing people exactly how you plan on getting them from where they are now to where they want to be. I'm going to drink some coffee because I'm going to cough. So that's why you see in my content, I'll say like, my client X just did X, Y, and Z, or I got X result, or this is how you go from here to here. Here's my exact framework of doing that. And I almost always have one slide or one sentence tying it in to a real life experience that I've had. There's a reason why I don't wobble when someone disagrees with me. Because I see people all the time say, oh, you shouldn't be doing things this way, or you shouldn't be doing this. And they're things I do. There's a reason why I don't wobble anymore. I used to, but not anymore, because I am so set in stone to what I do. My frameworks, I know they work. I've had multiple clients go through my frameworks and have had varying results. I've had clients go viral. I've had clients sign clients. I've had clients double their income. I've had clients book out. Like, I have lots of different examples of how my frameworks help people. So there's like no doubt in my mind if a launch isn't going the way that I think it's going. There's no doubt in my mind that it's my framework or my offer. It might just be my messaging or something else. This is how I stay convicted and I back my offers, back my work that I do every single day. And it's why I don't feel any like resistance to selling, because I know that if this type of person comes into my offers, I can get them this result. If they do all the work, if they go to all the trainings, if they put everything into action, we work on their mindset, they're not afraid to go in and get out of their comfort zone, I know they can get results. So I want to help. My goal for every single one of my clients is to get you feeling this way, because let me be honest, I didn't always feel this way. I grew up super shy. I was the shy girl in school. I was super introverted. I was told not to brag. I was told to be quiet and just be humble. And because of that, I had a really hard time sharing my wins. There was a time where I would share a win and be like, okay, I never can share it again because I already shared it. And there was also times where I would get a win and I'd be like, well, this win isn't good enough to compete with everyone else online. It's not the win itself it's not like, I don't even want to call it a win. It's not the experience itself that makes things so powerful, that proves your expertise. It's how you believe in it. It's how you talk about it that makes people go, oh, I need to work with her. So the work that I do inside my programs, and I've been refining my programs to be even more hands-on, because I have been in programs that people say, just get in the room for the vibe and you'll be successful. Newsflash, that's not true. I've been in the room where people shame you for asking questions, asking for hooks, asking for content feedback. They'll be like, well, you're at this level, you shouldn't be asking these questions. I don't believe in that either. I've been in the room with people that just say, like, you need to show, like, the entire inspiration of this live stream is like, you just need to show up like you are the one. Well, how do you do that if you don't believe in yourself? So I have been refining and working and building my offers, especially Force of Nature, which is my group program, to be so much more hands-on support, to help my clients really develop the self-trust and confidence that they need to show up convicted, believing in themselves, but being the leader. I'm not just going to tell you to be a leader. I'm not going to just tell you to be more bold. We're going to take your content and you could say this a little bit more, with a little bit more authority. You can say this, you could back this up with this client experience that I know you've had, and this post will be 10 times more powerful, right? So I have, in Force of Nature, what we do now, this is round 2 of Force of Nature. What we do is when you sign up, I will book a one-on-one call with you. You get a onboarding call where we go through all of your current offers. And I'm not in the business to completely restructure your offers. I used to encourage people to add group programs and stuff, but like, we're going to focus on what you have now and make sure it's in alignment with your goals. So if you want to sign more clients and you have 0 space on your calendar, guess what? We need to find some way for you to sign more clients. So we'll look at your offers. We'll make sure they're backed with story. And what we've been talking about this on this live stream is having proof. You've done it yourself. Maybe you have a certification. Maybe you've helped your friend do this, or you have client results of this. We're going to compile all of that proof, all of the results. And we're going to, hi, bold introvert leader. I unfortunately don't know your name because I don't think you've been on one of my live streams before, and it doesn't say it on your thing. So welcome. I'm so happy you are here. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through your offers and we're going to back it with stories. We're going to compile all of the proof that you have. And this is going to serve as your story bank, which we can use to create content. And then you have 3 calls with me per month, group calls, because it's in a group program format where we will start off the week or wherever we are in the week. And we'll check in. We'll say, how are things going? How are the posts last week? Which were your top performing posts? Okay, let's create posts like this. Let's create more things around this topic. Let's show up. Well, you'll come in with like hook ideas and content ideas, and I'll give you feedback of those ideas on the call. And we also will have little mindset check-ins too of how are we feeling? Do we feel confident? Are we starting to slip away from feeling like we are the one? Because remember, we have all this proof that we are now. Are we starting to wobble? Are we starting to doubt ourselves? How can we bring it back into believing in ourselves and having that self-belief? And then, so we have 3 calls a month. You have that onboarding call, one-on-one call. And then we also have a Slack channel that you get to communicate with me in between those calls. And that's where we really get to nip things in the bud immediately. So instead of having to wait a week for your question, and because most of you are self-led, I can guarantee you, if you had a question on Monday and the call wasn't until Friday, you've probably already solved that problem. I have no doubt about it. So instead of having to wait, like, I love you guys solving problems by yourself, but instead of having to wait for Friday, on Monday, you can get your questions answered. On Monday, you can have that support that you need to work through. Maybe a client said something to you and now you're starting to doubt yourself. Or maybe you got a video that didn't do as well as you thought it was going to do. Or maybe you had someone comment something and now you're like doubting everything, right? Like, we get to squash those things immediately. And that's so, so exciting. The other thing that I've changed in Force of Nature is it's no longer a 3-month commitment, it's a 6-month commitment. And the reason for that is because I myself am focusing more on long-term mentorship for me. And the reason for this is because the longer you are working with somebody, the more you get to know them, the more you start to recognize the patterns that they're having, and the more impact we can make. I want you guys not just to come in and look for a quick fix. I want you to come in, settle in, get comfortable, start taking bold action, start dreaming bigger than like the current problem that's in front of you, and be like, how can I take this 10 times bigger, 20 times bigger, 30 times bigger? I want you to come in and you're a complete different person from when you first came into the program. So that's Force of Nature. Then round 2 starts in January. So we're now booking for 2025 in Force of Nature. If you want a little taste of what it's like to work with me and to see how I help people create storytelling content that converts, I still have some content intensives open. That's where you get on a 60-minute one-on-one call with me. I give you feedback on your content. I help you bring in stories. I help you get a little bit more specific and deeper with your content, a little bit juicier, a little bit more bold. You call people out a little bit more. You get your community activated. You walk away with 30 content ideas. I've had clients come in and be like, holy cow, I didn't realize how unorganized my lead generation system was. I'm so excited to implement this content and see where it takes off. I've also had people who take my content and they go from 10 to 20 likes to 200 likes. Like, I am not making this up. I have literal screenshots that you can go to my results tab on my profile and look at. So if you're interested and you're like, yeah, I would love to see your brain. I would love to see how you create content. I would love to see how this works with me, how we mold together, right? Like, I'm also testing out how we work together, if I think you're going to be a good fit for the program or not. So if you're interested in that, because I also know that you're interested in figuring out how I work with you, then you can book that and we can use that investment. If you are interested in joining Force of Nature later on, you can use that investment towards your first payment. So that means that basically it's a free content call. It's like a complete no-brainer. You get 30 pieces of content, you get all that feedback, and then you also get to join the 6-month program that's completely revolutionizing the way you do business. All right, so this was a really, really juicy Hang with Hannah call. I don't even know why I brought my coffee because it's still halfway full. But I was so happy to hang out with you. Awakened Intimacy was here. Brenda was here. Brenda was a past client. Bold Introvert Leader was here. Thank you all so much for joining live. And if you're watching the replay, tell me you're watching the replay by leaving a comment below. You can just say hi. You can say, I love this topic, whatever comes to your mind. I love to hear when you are watching the replays and your biggest takeaways. All right. I will see you all tomorrow, 10 a.m., same time, same place. And we're going to be talking about a new juicy topic that I will be giving you a sneak peek of inside my story. So make sure you go to my Instagram stories. I also am getting my hair cut tomorrow. Unfortunately, not until after the live stream. So you're going to have to wait till Wednesday to see my new haircut. And props to Maybelline May, who's just a queen taking a bath the entire time during this live stream. Hopefully you can hear her licking sounds because she's been pretty loud behind me. All right, everyone, I will see you inside my stories and look out for a new post that's dropping at 6 p.m.